What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jam Movies, and today we get to discuss Martin Scorsese's masterpiece, Goodfellas. So let's get right into it. So we're both big fans of mob movies, and Goodfellas is definitely something that I put on every year at least, right? And you know, I don't understand too. I want to get into this a little bit too with the 4K. Everybody complains about the transfer. It looks good.
Yeah, I agree.
But no, this is definitely a movie that it's a classic. There's no other way to describe it. It's a classic movie. It was well made movie. And I let's dive right into this discussion with that budget.
So it was 25 million, which is pretty big for a movie. And Canada and the US already grossed 46.9, and throughout the whole world it was only 47, so they only gained a bit more. But I thought the budget was used really well in Goodfellas. There was a lot to it. It was a long movie, big name actors, good actors. But without saying too much, I'll let you take over now.
No, they used the budget well. I mean, with costume design, with set design, you know, they had to make everything look like it was from that time. Everything looked great. I mean, what you think a wise guy would look like looks that exactly what it looks like in the movie, right? So I mean, yeah, the budget. I mean, it's just a well made movie. There's not like, if you want to use one word, it's just well made, right? And let's get into the director, because Martin Scorsese. I mean, he's your ultimately, like, yes, Joe Pesci, amazing.
Yeah.
You know, Robert De Niro, amazing. Ray Liotta, amazing. But Martin Scorsese is a real star here.
Yeah.
He crafted one of the best mob movies ever made. And you got a sense of realism from the entire movie. And it you know, it's kind of like you're rooting for these bad guys too. It's almost like they're the anti-heroes in your journey. And you kind of get like an inside look at what it's like to be in a mob. And I don't think you get any closer besides, I would say, this and Sopranos, right? When you get into stuff like King of New York and you know, New Jack City and stuff like that, that's more like your fantasy type deal, right? But this is, and it's based rough, you know, obviously loosely based on a true story, right? About the character that Henry Hill played. I think the name was changed, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Martin Scorsese always does excellent work, and there's no exception here. What did you think about it?
I agree. It was done really, really well. It made you feel, like you said, remorse for the characters. It pulled you right in, made you feel like you were part of the movie, like you just zoned right into the movie. It was never a dull moment. And I just liked the way how he showed the wise guy's life style and what they go through and whatnot. But let's get into the actors. What do you have to say about the actors?
So the real standout for me, I think, in this movie, I mean, Joe Pesci was amazing, and that's why he won the Oscar for this movie. But the real standout would have to be Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen movies with Ray Liotta, and I don't think he ever came close to anything of this caliber again. Although, you know, still good, but not this close. I think he did amazing. You know, and the way he shifted his character around, like he was this real, you know, clean cut wise guy, and then he ended up getting addicted to drugs, and you watch his whole world crumble, and you actually, it's believable, right? When you look at him, he looks like a drug addict in those scenes, right? And then just, I don't know, his demeanor, it's chilling at times too as well, right? He doesn't care, you know, there's no care in the world, you know. I don't care about jail, I don't care about, you know, hurting somebody. It was really good. But I do want to obviously talk about De Niro and Joe Pesci. So both of them did awesome. All three of them, their on-screen chemistry together, you believed that they were close, right? They had each other's backs, right? And then even that emotional scene too, when Robert De Niro found out that Joe Pesci's character Tommy was killed, you again too, you could see that pain, right? And that's, I mean, they all work so well together, right? And all of them did an amazing job in this movie. But what do you have to say about the actors?
I have to agree with that a lot. What was his name? Sorry, Ray Liotta. He did an amazing job, especially how he, like you said, he didn't care about anything. He just wanted to live that lifestyle. His line is all, as far back as I can remember, all I wanted to be was a gangster.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines,
Yeah.
right? So it made you feel more into the mob feel, like you get more involved in the movie by just hearing him say that than seeing his life as it goes by. And then, like you said, Joe Pesci did an amazing job. I like the way his character did a thing. Robert De Niro as well. But going into that, let's get into favorite scene. What do you have to say about the favorite scene?
Favorite scene is always at the dinner table with Tommy's mom. And with the whole bit with the knife, hey mom, I'm gonna borrow this knife. A hoof got stuck in the car to cut it off, and whether or not she actually believed it, she was probably like, don't ask, don't tell kind of scenario or whatever, right? But I just like how they all just sat down in the middle of the night after they just murdered somebody. It's like, hey, let's have this big meal. We're really hungry for murdering somebody, right? So that part always gets me, but then it also takes me back to like they're just, I mean, in their world, they're just regular people.
Yeah.
Right? Now we just came back from work, and now we're going to have a big meal together with my coworkers, So, I really enjoy that scene. How about you?
I agree. That's one of my favorite scenes, too. But I like the scene leading up to that, which was in the bar. I thought that was great, where he comes back and just kills the guy.
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to do that. Then you could see from there.
The shoe shiner.
Yeah, exactly. That was a good one.
Yeah.
But you see from there, like the downfall of them as a crew and what they're doing that's kind of gonna haunt them in the future. But it was a great scene. But what did you think about the ending?
Ending was great. I mean, you really can't change the ending too much because it's supposed to be based on somewhat of a true story, right? So no, the ending was satisfying. I mean, you can't really they're villains in the end, and you know what I mean. So the fact that he ended up being kind of miserable. Even he made that comment at the end about the spaghetti. The only thing he can get spaghetti is noodles and marinara sauce, right? Like, and he's used to eating all this authentic Italian food. So I mean, it's a satisfying ending to an excellent story. But what would you give this movie on the Jam Meter?
Oh, this one is a high one too. I would say a 90. I liked it a lot. Long movie, but I enjoyed it from the beginning to the end. It took you on an emotional roller coaster and an adventure of what a mob wise guy would be, or a gangster if you want. But I think 90% is great for this movie. There's other mob movies I would rate higher, but this is a great movie nonetheless. I definitely highly recommend you watch it if you haven't, but you should have watched it already. But what do you think it should be rated on the Jam Meter? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with a 90 because I mean it is one of the greatest mob movies ever made. But I have a couple that I put ahead of this one, but that's for a later day. But it's just a well-crafted movie. You can't really find anything wrong with the movie. It's not even the dialogue isn't boring, right? So with that being said, guys, thanks for jamming out with us on our discussion of Goodfellas. We really enjoy this film. If you haven't seen it, get out from underneath that rock you live in and go check it out. As it is an awesome ride from start to finish. And if you like this video, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thank you for jamming out. And don't forget your shine box.